Oh, we need to update the offline screen too.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the AFR stream for Tier 1. It is, I believe, round 21. We're in season... Oh, that's horrible. I don't know what season we're in. I'm Psycho. With me tonight is Jacob.
Good evening, everybody. It's round 20, by the way, and it is season 9.
Thank you. I knew it was 9 or 10, but I was like, oh, what? And I just got everything wrong.
When you go high up enough, you lose count pretty easily. Anyway, rainy pit lane here. I think we have some wet conditions for quali today.
It does look rather greasy out there. I wonder if someone in chat could let us know what the actual weather is going to be for the sprint and for the race. For those of you that aren't frequent watchers, Tier 1 runs this slightly different format to Tier 3 and Tier 2. Instead of just doing quali and then race, they have a quali, a short quali, sprint race, and then a 50% race.
Yes, so a couple of drivers heading out now already. Who's out first? That is a Haas. I believe that's Mr. Spicer. So we have a few different drivers in this time around as well. The more observant of you may have noticed that we've got some Tier 2 and Tier 3 drivers racing with us this time around. Just with a few Tier 1 drivers not showing up this time around. The 24-hour race at Daytona taking it out of a few people, clearly. So we've got a few people substituting in, like Spicer, Farmer Sam, who did Tier 3, Rat as well. So good to see how those people go.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be good to see how our Tier 2 and Tier 3 drivers match up against our Tier 1 guys. Hopefully they can hold their own. Some of them I definitely know can. So, since Mr. Spicer wants to be the first guinea pig, he has left the pits first, so right on board with the lap with him.
Yeah, just getting a feel for the conditions right now with Spicer, and I don't know how much practice everybody here has done, but especially wet practice. This might catch a few people out, so I'm really interested to see what pace everyone has in these wet conditions. He comes around to the final corner to start his flying lap here at France. Seventh. Now let's see how he attacks this turn 1 here. Yeah, not too bad. Nice and smooth for the first couple of corners. Very cautious, obviously. Be more just looking to set a banker more than anything else. And another thing with wet quali conditions compared to, say, dry conditions is you can normally afford to get a few laps done at a time. People will generally run slightly higher fuel loads so they can stay out for a few laps, get acclimatized to the conditions, and maybe put in their faster one-lap runs a bit later on in the session. So this is more just to see how the drivers will really get along in these wet conditions and get used to the track. Assuming the conditions stay exactly the same all the way through as well. We don't know if it's going to change at all yet as well.
It is important to make sure that you don't hit the car. So yeah, as you said, they will be doing a few laps, unlike the normal dry quali where you sort of go out, do a lap, turn your tyres up and come straight away. They usually do for a couple of laps. The issue with Beauregard is that it is one of the longer circuits, so you can't really do that a lot. And using ERS around here, even in the wet, like you strain so much battery, you can't actually string 2 laps together.
Wow, it's true. Actually, that's a good point. So it's going to be stop go if you're going to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Spicer now, he's already burned through more than half his battery.
True, but we'll see what lap time he gets in. Second to last turn. This has been a tidy lap, but I think you could say a rather conservative one. And Spicer, normally one of our Tier 2 drivers, may not be quite at the pace that some of our Tier 1 runners, but he will still set a 1:39.4, and that's provisional pole.
I like how you knew it was going to be 1:30, like you said it before he even crossed the line.
I was displaying utmost confidence.
you were.
Didn't actually think it'd be that close. Oh, that's a Ferrari spun as well. I believe that's a Polo.
Is he doing his thing?
More times fluttering in. 39.4 for Sneaky. 39.1 for Bait and 39 flat for Mikhail. 2 AFR up top.
Mr. Spicer so far looking very much at home in Tier 1. He might have to move him up.
T-Mac now 38.6. So, like I said, faster times coming in from some of the more regular runners. And speaking of the regular runners, Tier 1 wise, Championship wise, it's more or less sorted out, the championship and the team championship. So this isn't necessarily going to affect anything, the result here for the actual championship. There are still minor placings to be played out for, and of course that influences car selection for our next season. But otherwise, this is just this in Hungary, and that's it. So it's more just wrapping up the season here for some of these guys. As that's Feeble for 37-7.
Feeble absolutely rapid. Puts 9 tenths on T-Mac straight away.
Trin 38-8 as well. Rat with a 38-9.
Good bankers by some of these guys, especially the tier 2 guys. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't have a huge baseline on what a good wet time is around here, but FIBA making that much of a gap, 7 tenths on Big Al, who just put in a 38.4, is pretty good. And FIBA, last season, we had 13 races. He got pole 12 out of 13 times, and the only race he didn't get a pole in was actually at France. So I'm curious to see if his one lap pace is actually going to hold up here. Combined also 38.4.
Combined, absolutely rapid. You rarely see him that far up in the standings, so well done for him. Super banker lap.
Mm-hmm.
Pepsi had that invalidation, but he's going to try for a lap now, so I'm on board with him. Pepsi being one of the drivers that attempted the Daytona at 24 hours. I say attempted because he should technically still be driving the Daytona 24 hour if they couldn't revive the car.
I like that sometimes with those big enduros though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's good to see him on the grid though. I mean, he could have absolutely chosen not to race as well, you know. Those big races take it out of you, so.
Absolute respect for the commitment by Pepsi. Streaming Tier 3, racing Tier 1, and then streaming Tier 2 directly after this. Man has no brakes.
Indeed, is he?
On and off the track.
Indeed, coming down the back straight now into the chicane. Again, relatively tidy. No one's been too crazy. There's been a few spins here and there on the track, but nothing insane, really. Seeing the old red, yellow flag show up.
Pretty conservative by Pepsi so far, but should be a relatively decent time if we can string it together. Rear end looks a little bit loose.
Crush also put in a 38.2 while this was going on, so people are speeding up a little bit as they sort of run a bit more of the track.
Final corner, get decent traction. Yes, he does. And he'll put in a 1:38.9.
Not a bad time on the board in 9th place. Still 2 drivers not to set times. That would be Ekim and Farmer Sam currently. Yeah, Ekim, of course, running in the Tier 3 race earlier. Winning that by a small margin, admittedly. It's good to see how he'll do here, though.
Yeah, absolutely small margin. I was really touch and go there for a while.
I actually didn't see the gap in the end. What was it? Do you know?
I can't count that high.
Yeah, be interesting to see what lap he gets, actually. Is he on a lap right now? I believe he is.
He is, yeah. I'm sitting on board with him as he comes around turn 11. Oh, no.
He's backed off. He's backed off.
Letting the McLaren through.
May want to stick on with him anyway. So a few drivers have come into the pits. We talked about how some people would choose to stay on the inters, but clearly with the having to take a break after a lap to actually do another lap, not so good for the tyre wear, I suppose, and maybe just wanting to just stick to the traditional format of just coming in, having the lower fuel load as well. Big Al, 37.6 now. Pole position for him so far.
That'll poke up through his ears.
Condon as well, getting a 39.4, and with Ekim's banker lap, everyone does have a time now, but Ekim will be looking for a more representative one.
Ekim absolutely rapid through Sector 1 so far. Just looking at his throttle and brake, I don't understand how he can put that kind of throttle application down. That's the fastest Sector 1.
He was 1.5 seconds up on his old one, but I don't know how fast that was.
He's on for a absolutely banger of a lap.
Well, Trent put in a 37.9, so the third person into the 37s. Everyone else in the 38s, early 39s roughly. 3 seconds up, but remember he backed off a lot through Sector 3, so we won't get an idea of how good this time is until he gets to the end of the line here. His ERS, I think he's got just enough. I think it might drop off towards that start-finish straight.
No, he should be fine. He'll save up a little bit. Yeah, I think you ideally want to keep it above 20%, otherwise you do start to lose straight line speed.
Yeah, so I don't think this will cost much, maybe a 10 for most. As he comes down the start-finish line, let's see what time he gets here. It'll be interesting. And indeed it was, 37.75. So 11 thousandths behind Faber. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's rapid lap. Very impressive.
Indeed, 6.5 minutes left here at France for our qualifying. Remember, we do have a sprint after this as well, and then 50% race.
I'm on board with Faber as he's about to start his next run. That'll be hopefully a bold challenge in the
Indeed, Faber oddly never having a win here either. Last season he got 6th place here. One of his few non-winning races, believe it or not. Big Al's won twice here, and you have to go back to the likes of Seb or Pacey, who have both multiple time winners here. Mikhail also having won once as well. But Faber has never won here, so we're looking to add one on here today.
Absolutely, that would be the goal there. Faber looking pretty quick for Sector 1. Had a couple of little snaps, but nothing too severe.
Yeah. Nice chicane too, yeah.
Excellent traction. Just the way you can see his input, just the way he modulates the throttle to maintain that traction is so impressive to watch.
I really got to tiptoe through that fast right-hander. They would normally be dead flat otherwise.
But look at that, absolutely beautiful. Might have to navigate a little bit of traffic here in Sector 3, but I think he should be fine. The Mercedes is going to pit, so people will have a clean run to the line as he sits in 4th gear around the final corner.
I was running the line as well. This is going to be a really good lap. And it was 37.3. Pole position.
Rapid. Absolutely rapid.
Yeah, 3 tenths, well, 3.5 tenths almost, yeah.
Sea Dog, am I a little bit quiet? Let's see if I can fix that.
And while he's fixing that, so Crush as well, 38.2. Only 4 drivers in the 37s currently, but it's the drivers you'd expect as well, to be fair. Mikhail only down in 9th. Remember, he's a past race winner here. Hasn't shown the pace he used to, but could still do well here. Whole field split up by around 2 seconds. Nothing too insane. First to 7th, about a second in it.
Alright, Sea Dog, that should be better. And Oreo, welcome back.
3.5 minutes. People will be coming in for their last runs.
Yeah, it would... Yeah, they should have enough time. If they get in and get out quickly, they should have enough time to have another crack at it. As, especially in Inters conditions, the track does liven up quite a bit towards the end, so you definitely want to be out there within the closing minute or so of the session for the fastest possible time. as you can see, the rain is definitely letting up.
Indeed. Now, I want to point out a very interesting record. So currently Feber's on 390 points with 2 races to go. The record for most points in a season was 452 by Revo, and this was back in Season 4. So with the sprint format, Feber needs 63 more points in order to actually beat that record. And there is an outside chance that he can do that, but it's very unlikely. if he were to like clean sweep everything with fastest laps, then I'm pretty sure then he would fulfill that.
Yeah, it's probably a little up there. But that would be impressive if he managed it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to be able to, finish the lap, and then Eckham, I think, after that should be starting one.
So Eckham will be the first driver. Is it still raining, actually? Can't tell on my end.
I think it just stopped. Looking at my stream, I think it just stopped raining, but I don't know if it's dry enough. Oh,
yeah.
I don't think it's dry enough yet. No.
Yeah, no. Everybody's coming out on inters, so yeah, indeed.
On the did improve.
Oh no, hang on, softs! Everyone's on softs, I should say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looks like it could. Well, I mean, in the next minute and a half, the track might be dry enough.
Yeah, literally everybody has come out on soft tyres.
Eckham and Pondon might be really deep in the mud here.
Unless the track stays wet enough and they can actually take advantage of it.
Nah, have a look at that sun. This thing's drying up.
Well, let's see how it plays out. We're still on board with Eckham. Yep, we are. So, coming down the back straight now. He's got a lot of traffic to negotiate, I'm going to point out.
Yeah, he's got an immense amount of traffic, but not only that, I think he's officially on the wrong tyre.
He can still put in a bit of time here. This could still advantage him against somebody like Pondon, I suppose. He may as well finish the lap as quick as he can and just see where it ends up.
Yeah, just hopefully his tyres won't overheat in his last couple of corners. You can see him still lifting there.
Yeah, so the inter tyres will still behave the same regardless of if there's water or not, really. It still feels like there's rain on the track pretty much. It's more just the grip of the tyres. But they will overheat quicker, of course.
No, he's in trouble.
Yeah, it's dry now, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we'll stick on and see how it goes, and then we'll swap to one of the dry runners, I think. But someone spun as well on the start-finish. I think that's
right.
enough Terry.
He's in. He lost his wing. As Eckham does improve 36.5.
Now the first one on a flying lap, I believe, is Rat. Yes, it is, and he's 18th up in the first sector. So you're totally correct.
Yeah, alright. I'm on board with Rat now as he's halfway through the second sector, having a little bit of wheel spin there, but it looks like Feber is in the wall and he's dead.
No way. So that's another time he's not going to get pole at France. Incredible.
Oh, the man is cursed here.
Incredible. Rat coming through this long right-hander now. Farmer Sam, 35.8. He was out earlier on those softs, and he has jumped Eckham, but I should think we're going to find a few more people jumping him as DRS is enabled. That generally means the track is dry.
I think everyone on softs is going to jump him. He's, wow, I didn't expect this track to dry out that quickly. Well played. So
it's a one-lap shootout.
Pretty much. Well played by everyone apart from the Inters runners. Unfortunately for Feber, just pushed a little bit too hard when the track wasn't completely up to temperature yet.
Right, Rat, 34.6, currently in pole position. Yeah. Next is Mikkel, who's coming down the start finish now.
Big Al getting held up by Alfa Romeo on a lap combined. YouTube is holding him up, so he's... Oh no, because they're racing to the line because they're both on hot lap, so this is perfectly legal, but very frustrating for Big Al. He's definitely not going to get pole.
That does suck. Crush is on professional pole for 33.3. Sneaky got a 31.4. Let's see what these two get.
Oh, Big Al would be fuming at that.
That was a crazy finish.
Not much can be done about that. They were both on hot laps, so it's...
He got second. He still got second.
Oh, he would be so angry because he would have lost nearly a second behind combined.
Wow.
They're
So Crush does get pole.
They were going side by side through turn 13.
Anyway, Crush on pole, Big Al in second, Sneaky third, and you have to go down 1.2 seconds back is Rat in fourth, Mikal fifth, combined in sixth place, good from him, Farmer Sam seventh, C-Mac in eighth, and everyone behind only has their intertimes. So that's Ekim, Fever, Pondon, Trin, Bait, Pepsi, and Spicer, and Apex not setting a time. I think he's stepping in for this race as well.
Well, that was a different kind of qualifying.
Wow. I think I have to go back to what? Season 3 Singapore, maybe? Tier 1 to find a finish like that? Wow, that's incredible. So the lap times for the Inters were so slow because they couldn't get a time in on dry tyres. The guys on the softs, they're still on a drying track technically, and it's fully wet for the race.
This is going to be a full wet sprint. Full wet sprint. Nice. Oreo, the times are so slow because of the changeable weather conditions. So the issue is that if these guys go out on their inters, especially towards the end of that session, the track was drying up. So if they do it at a really hard push lap on inters, by the end of the lap, they'd burn them up. So it's in that weird zone where it's between inters and softs. So like softs are still too slippery, but it's too dry for inters. So yeah, it's like a really awkward point.
The track was definitely still greasy, yeah. You could say that they weren't at their full potential, those drivers.
Yeah.
Anyway, a full wet sprint. Are they on full wet tyres? Let's see.
Oh, they would be, absolutely. Look at that rain. It's this is proper French weather.
Yeah, it's full wet tyres. Wow. When was the last time we had full wets? That's great.
It's been a while for Tier 1, I think. Apex, absolute boss move, goes for the inters just to try something different.
I love it. So when you run inters on a full wet track, you're just going to have less grip. It's going to be a far slidier. I know this from experience, sadly. It's just not going to work for you. But it is only the sprint, 9 laps. Maybe it's a big brain play. Maybe there's rain in the feature as well, and you want to save wets. I don't know. But we'll see what happens.
Aussie mate, no, not a full field. So we're at the end of the season. This is our second last race in a like a 22 race.
21 out of 22, I believe.
Yeah, so 22 race season. So this is our second last race. Most of the championship has been sort of wrapped up. So we're missing quite a few drivers. That and the fact that everyone's sort of still coming off holidays, and also the Daytona 24 hours on at the same time. So
yeah, a lot of our drivers do 24-hour Daytona. Yeah,
so all of that factors into the attendance numbers. So Crush is treating the outlap like a quali lap.
Yeah, it's not incredibly hard to get the wets up to temperature when you're sliding them around like that, I suppose. And taking it so quickly as well, the formation lap, I guess, does sort of put the pressure on everybody else behind to like get a hurry on and not have much time to warm up their tyres. Crossplay next season remains to be seen. I think we're looking at doing it just PC, so Origin being able to do it as well.
It's possibly on the horizon, but at the moment it's still PC only. Sorry, isn't it?
Yeah, if we have anything, we'll announce it for sure. In our Discord, probably.
Yeah, the best place to keep informed is just to stay in the Discord. It'll be in general announcements if we make any big changes like that.
It's just sideways. There's the 362. Oh, I love it.
Crush is really warming up those tyres. Completely pulling a Verstappen just to make sure he's got the heat in there.
Sneaky got a reset too, so he starts a little bit further back in his grid spot. We're on immersive grid as well.
Yeah, so let's see if these guys can actually park their cars or not. That's Pondon clearly can't park. No, we can Sneaky. Oreo, don't have the Discord link. It should be in the bio.
It's down below, yes. Anyway.
Alright, 5 lights. And we are away. It looks like a pretty okay start from the front runners. There's an Alpine, looks like it's got a pretty good start. Big Al right behind Crush. Sneaky slots in right behind him as Sneaky's going to look up the inside of Big Al into turn 1. Can he make it through? It's looking pretty good so far. There's an Alfa Romeo off the track. Combined, obviously not going very well, dropping a ton of positions.
Yeah, Combined was just tapped off there. He was stuck on the inside, had nowhere else to go. But he's rejoined into 14th, 13th now. Still a lot of jostling around. Pondon, corner cutting.
Yeah, okay, not sure what happened upon them then, but he went for a bit of an excursion, and then he had some pretty creative interpretations of the track limits. He came back on.
Well, if there's anything weird about that, I'm sure that'll get appealed in some sense. Anyway, Apex has dropped off a little bit from the rest of the grid. They're all still jostling coming through the chicane, but no massive incidents as it seems. Everyone's keeping it line of stone. Fever's made a lot of spots. I think he's up 5 spots. That's incredible.
That doesn't surprise me, it's Fever, as he looks to make up another position on Mikau, fully burning ERS coming into turn 10. Doesn't really care. Mikau knows there's no point in fighting that, so he just lets him go.
That's 6 spots now for Fever.
Pepsi looking up the inside of Rat, and he's got that move done fairly cleanly. I say done, I meant not done.
Yeah, Rat re-dived and Pepsi re-dived, and he's still alongside here actually. Can really do that around this last sector, which makes it quite fun to actually race on with some people. And Pepsi,
a lot of diving going on.
Pepsi runs wide, Combined says hello, he wants to join in too, but Pepsi forces the issue.
Bit aggressive there, Pepsi, pushing Combined to the track limits and possibly beyond, some would argue. It's Eckham and Farmer Sam are side by side going into turn 1 now.
Remember these two raced last race in Tier 3 as well, if you caught that. Eckham got that quite considerably over Farmer Sam anyway.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good so far. There hasn't been any straight up murder. That gets past Spicer towards the back of the grid there. And Apex has found out the hard way that he's definitely on the wrong tyre.
Oh dear. Pondon's forced his nose on Eckham here, and so there's a fight still going on for the spot here.
Massive fight going on here.
And team accident on it too. Eckham got a really bad run. And that's Pepsi spun around as well onto the entry of the back straight.
Yeah, as they make it 3 wide into turn 8 and 9, which, oh wow, what a mess. It's just cars.
They were 2 by 2.
Trying to come into the back of this battle pack, trying to work out how to navigate it.
But they all did it without major incident. That was quite actually good from all of them. This is full wet conditions. They're in a massive battle pack and they're not tapping each other. It's quite good to see.
This is Tier 1 driving at its finest.
At the head of that pack you have Pondon. Maybe a bit of a bottle in the cork in the bottle here. Bottle in the cork. Behind Eckham, Team Actrin and Farmer Sam and Rat, all in this angry little pack with Combined not too far off it as well now.
Just pointing out in chat, our very experienced Tier 3 World Drivers Champion is giving us some advice and is letting us know that it is indeed wet.
The weatherman has chimed in on this. It's good to see. Lap 3 of 9. It is pretty wet around France right now, indeed.
Oreo pointing out that if it was him, it would be in the wall. You wouldn't be the only one. Most drivers would be in the wall. Even though the walls are really far away here. Now, Apex, unfortunately, somehow he's still not in the wall, which I thought he definitely would be, but he's managed to keep that Ferrari on the track. I didn't realise that he chose that strategy while in a Ferrari, so he's definitely doing some really good cosplay at the moment.
Oh, both Ferraris at the back too. It's looking more and more realistic. Eesh. Anyway, this pack for 6 is still fighting along here. They've spread out a little bit throughout the straight, but it's just one big train coming through the chicane. Bit further up, Big Al is only a few tenths behind Crush, but not really in striking range right now, and everybody else behind him is sort of fanned out a little bit as Rat makes a move on Farmer Sam for 10th spot.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that overtake. I got the end of it.
Yeah, it looks like he just used a bit of VRS to get by him there.
Yeah, Oreo, we do allow traction control and a few other assists in these tiers, so guys, some of them will be running assists. Most of them have line on, but there are a few drivers that have no assists. As of next season, though, Tier 1 will be completely no assist league.
Yes, indeed. I think most drivers in Tier 1 here are actually running no assist. Some will use ABS. I think most of them do run no traction control, though, from memory.
I think it's only like 1 or 2 that have traction control on for us.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you who does and doesn't run line though. Pondon and Ekim here, 6th spot, side by side. Pondon holds on to it still.
He does, getting a little bit squirrely there, but he manages to keep it on track. M-Dog pointing out that real men use keyboards.
For what?
Trent and T-Mac side by side. This is a pretty familiar sight, actually. These two tend to race pretty close together, usually. Trent will get past him, though, and Rat looking up the inside, burning up a lot of ERS. Is he going to make a little bit of a dive? No, he decides to slide back behind T-Mac. Probably a wise choice for now.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to put the pressure on. Have a wee look, nothing crazy. If he had the straight line speed, then sure, why not? So Pondon's lost a bit of time to Mikhail in front, so it was 3 seconds, now it's 4 seconds that gap. So I think he is holding up the drivers behind him a little bit, but he is holding on. Remember, no DRS, so it's just purely ERS here, and Pondon is using a fair bit of his ERS to stay ahead. But with it only being a 9-lap race, and we're currently nearly onto lap 5, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job in 6th spot right now.
Definitely holding on. Good for him. He usually is one of the slower drivers in Tier 1. It's always good to see him up there in the points when he can achieve it. On his day, he's pretty quick.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that right now. The wet conditions playing into his favour, it seems, a little bit as well. I don't know how much you'll be loving it, but I think it is helping. I think if it was dry, it'd be a different story.
It is very hard to overtake in the wet here. Well, as evidence here, Akram is definitely faster than Pondon, but just because he had difficulties to overtake, unless Pondon actually makes a mistake, I don't think Akram's going to get past him.
Indeed, and Apex, he looks like he's crashed out in the last corner here.
Yeah, that brings out a full safety car?
Is it a full or a virtual? Let's find out, I suppose.
That's a full safety car. I can see the safety car on track.
Oh wow, it is too. Yes, okay. So, just brings the field together. Nothing crazy here. No one's going to pit. There's no point to. So, yeah, interesting. Unfortunate for Apex. I guess when you're on those tyres, I mean, unless it's full wet, like next race, you know, it makes sense to just sort of stay on the inters and just sort of ride it out. Don't put wear on the other tyres, but, you know, what can you do?
He took a gamble. It didn't pay off.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, let me put it to you this way. His fastest lap is a 1:53.3. Most people were doing 46s and 47s as their best lap throughout the field, so I think that sums it up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the right tyre for these conditions, and the conditions are definitely not changing anytime soon. It's bucketing down rain out there. What's going on there? There's some shenanigans in the backfield.
Yeah, Feber had to back up. I think a few other drivers might have had to as well. No doubt they will be somewhat sorting it out. Obviously, there's a delta that the drivers have to follow before they catch the safety car, so they can't drive over a certain pace, and it creates a domino effect if drivers are already clumped up, so people will just be negotiating that.
Feber's made quite a good recovery drive from, I don't know where he started, fairly far down compared to where he is now, but he's made it all the way back to P3, so on this restart he'll be fighting Big Al and Crush.
Yeah, so T-Mac combined and Spice are all in. I'm not sure if they have damage or if they're just coming in for fresher tyres. They're coming in for inters as T-Mac. Combined, probably doing the same thing. Nope, fresh set of wets for him. Spicer, what's he doing? Another set of wets as well. So they're just looking to refresh their tyres as they're further back already.
Yeah, that actually does make sense because they're out of the points anyway. They're starting, they're in a pretty bad position. Might as well put some fresh rubber on and see if they can make a move.
They effectively have a free pit stop by being further back and just want to have slightly better wear on their tyres. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But apart from that, it hasn't really changed much. It's a reprieve for Pondon up in 6th, I want to say, because obviously he was getting a lot of pressure from Beckham and otherwise. For Feber, I think it's terrible because he was making really good headway getting up to Big Al and Crush. So now he's got a couple of laps where he actually can't catch up and try battle them.
He'll have a 2-lap sprint to try and catch them. I know we don't do awards for things, but if we did, I would definitely give Crush Most Improved this season, because he has gone from sort of midfield to fairly consistently fighting for wins and podiums towards the end of the season.
I think he really worked his way up as well. I remember when he first started in Tier 3, and you could visibly see him improve. It was quite good to see, and then coming up into Tier 1 and everything, and I don't think I could disagree with that one bit, really.
No, he's been phenomenal. Super clean driver, very, very consistent, and just constantly, as you said, constantly improving.
Yeah, so as you said, 2-lap sprint. Safety car's going to go around one more time, so when we go back around again, it will be lap 8, and it will be a 2-lap sprint. Yeah, a bit of downtime here while the drivers negotiate another 2-minute 20 lap of France in the wet. We can see the sides for a bit longer, I suppose.
I had to just do the math in my head then, because I thought I got it wrong.
I just saw Phoebe do a 2-minute 18. I mean about the lap count, yes, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I had to just do the math in my head, then I was like, hang on a minute. Is this going to be a
Let's look at
2-lap sprint, or am I being stupid?
Let's have a look and see how people have moved up and down the grid actually while the drivers are going around. Faber's made 7 spots this race, pretty big. Mostly done in the first stint of the race, but obviously having to make a bit of time up in the mid part of the race and sort of catch up to Big Al and Crush. Pondon up 5 spots, Trin up 4 spots, Ekim up 2 spots, Rat coming down 5. Teammate going down 5 as well. Obviously he pit though, and combined coming down 8 as well. Well, interesting to see if these people that pit are actually going to make any time up or any positions up.
Pondon's 5 spots seems a little bit suspect to me.
Because that was at the start of the race. That was when he got the corner cutting penalty, and we both missed that, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, so I don't know how many of those spots are legit. That 10-second time penalty might not be going anywhere.
I guess we'll find out after the race, but as it is for now, it'll still get applied here, and it will still affect where he starts for the full race, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. That penalty is going to stick here, but he may or may not get his points for the sprint race, depending on how severe he he cut that corner.
Yeah, at this point he is scoring 3 points if that penalty does get removed, yes.
So I'm on board with Big Al for this restart, as Crush is leading the pack, so we'll have a look and see when he decides to go. As soon as he couples into the pits, which is right about now, he will have the field, and he can decide when to release.
You gotta be careful on this restart
already.
as well.
He's gone.
Yep, that's not a bad idea as well. You don't want to be going when you're going at so slow speed, you know. You don't want to accidentally drop the rear and spin out, you know.
Yeah, I was mega early though. He just absolutely sent it. This reminds me a lot of when Hero did the restart. I think it was in Tier 1 last season, and he came to the last corner and spun out.
Oh dear. Gives me Shane Van Gisbergen vibes the back first. I think 2019, I want to say. Anyway, T-Mac has already dropped a spot. I don't think the enters are exactly working out for him.
No, he's trying it and it's not working. Just on board now is Spicer and T-Mac side by side. And T-Mac's trying to hold it in there, but he just has no traction, poor guy.
And while that was happening, actually Feber gapped Big Al through the long right-hander. So that's Feber into second. And Big Al is currently pushing to try pass him again.
I'm on board now.
Let's see, the tyres are overlapping. Can Big Al stick it up there? Feber will have the inside going into the right part of the chicane though.
Sneaky behind is going to try and make the best of this, but he is, I think, a little bit outclassed by the drivers ahead. In saying that, if they make a big enough mistake, he can get past. Crush must be loving this.
Indeed, they're both still side by side. Feber was pretty careful going into that, took a lot of curb, gave Big Al a lot of room, a lot of respect from these guys. It's quite good racing actually. Very close.
It always is between these two. They've got the utmost respect. They're teammates when we do the invitational events. They are good friends, excellent drivers, both of them super clean, super fast.
And yet the battle still continues here. Feber very wide. Big Al is going to have him here. I don't know if Faber can get to the inside enough. He has. That was a huge dive from Faber, and they collide because of it. And Big Al's got the run. And Sneaky is still here.
Yeah, he's in it. He's all over it. Last lap now. Crush looks like he's going to run away with this, but Faber and Big Al are battling so hard. Sneaky is looking like he wants a chance. Faber goes a bit inside of Big Al, which turns into the outside. Wow. No, he's... God, Big Al gets back past again. Sneaky having to lift off the throttle just not to collect the back of that Alpine. Oh, Sneaky around the outside! Oh, nearly. Oh, and Faber drifting! Absolutely sends it around that corner. That was amazing!
Now, they're still along side by side. They've been side by side for almost the whole lap at this point.
Faber absolutely drifting around that corner. That was awesome!
Sneaky had to lift there, and Faber had to concede to Big Al there, but he's now going to try again into the chicane. No, he backs out. Wow, that's some great racing.
At the moment, Sneaky is like my favourite cameraman.
There's not much Sneaky really could have done as well. He just has to sit behind and can't really force anything too much.
He is sitting behind doing the best he can. Just swapping back and forth now between these guys. Looks like Big Al is going to have this. It's hard to overtake in sector 3, but Faber is definitely going to try. He wants to look up the inside. Can he? Oh, nearly sticks a nose in. Big Al doesn't leave him any room as they make a little bit of contact. I don't know how Big Al kept that car in a straight line.
Yeah, Faber crisscrossing now. Wants to try to take the inside into the left-hander coming up, but I think Big Al's got a decent enough run that it can't happen. Faber has to sort of lunge to do this, and he does. Goes a bit wider. Now he's got the inside for the last turn, but needs to pull it up. And I think he's got a better run this time than Big Al. Yeah, he does. So he will take second, and Crush takes the win on the sprint race here at Circuit Boulevard.
Wow. What an exciting sprint race.
A great wee battle at the end there. Pondon drops down because of the penalty. Was P6 on track, but Ekin will take P6 and Pondon all the way down to 14th. T-Mac retires to speed up the process a little bit.
Panda, I don't know if it'll break anything. You should in theory be able to. M-Dog as well if you guys want to hop in. Hop in. We have to do it super quick though.
Yeah, it would be quick.
Wow, awesome job by actually by everyone. That was such a clean race. I didn't see anything dodgy. Everyone was super clean for such a wet track, and it was so close, especially that battle in the midfield and then towards the end. That was awesome. That was just so cool.
Indeed. Crushed, picking up the full 8 points for the sprint race. Faber getting 7 points. Big Al with 6. Sneaky with 5. Mikal with 4. Ekin will take 3. Tren will take 2 points. And Rat will take the last point on offer here. Just missing out Farmer Sam and Pepsi 9th and 10th. Bait, Spicer combined, and Pondon. And I need to scroll down. T-Mac and Apex 15th, 16th.
I actually, yeah, it was such a good battle, and I like the view in the wet. I just turned the whole UI off just so I could watch it without any of the disgusting overlay. It was pretty cool.
Andocat's not racing. Oh, yes, you said you were going to race, Ando. Yes. Unlucky.
He seems to have suffered a terminal brake-by-wire failure.
And
also his throttle is non-functional. It sucks because you do kind of need both of those things. How are you with a keyboard, Ando?
We don't allow keyboard.
Oh yeah, good point.
That would break rules.
You have a controller?
Just waiting for everybody here to sort out their strategies and setups.
I imagine everyone here would be on the same strategy. I'd be surprised if anyone wasn't. Let's see if I'm...
Are we going to be surprised? No!
Apex is doing something different.
I respect it. He's in the back. This one makes a bit more sense this time. Although, being on the medium tyres and steering in front of his field of hard runners, you know, it's not an easy task.
No, he does as well, in addition to his the being on the wrong tyre compound have the added misfortune of being in a Ferrari on the wrong tyre compound, which somehow makes it worse. I don't know how, it just does.
You're very Ferrari critical, aren't you?
Unfortunately, it looks like Panda and M-Dog were too late to join the session.
Yes, so 27 laps here of France. Crush obviously in pole position. Everybody on the hard tyres, it'll be a hard medium, as we saw in TF3 if you were watching for that. Apex bucking the trend, going for a medium hard, trying to have a bit more pace at the start of the race and maybe try to gap a few cars in the early phase. But he will be pitting in earlier as a result.
T-Mac doing something interesting, which is not staying in position.
If he had an instant or if he's just there.
It's T-Mac. Is there a difference with him?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay. Some of these guys are really warming up their tyres.
What's the hard tyres? The hard tyres are pretty hard to get temperature in. They're going to be using every bit of track and weaving every which way. Does Crush do another 360 on the grid here? I want to see.
I don't think he's going to do it considering where he's starting.
Yeah, no, there we go.
He behaved himself this time. As everyone pulls up into their respective grid slots, let's see if anybody has any trouble parking a car. Oh, there we go. Pepsi can't park.
Pepsi overshot it. He overshot it.
I love it. Good job, Pepsi.
All right.
5 red lights. And Werf again looks like a pretty okay start from the front runners. Sneaky getting a fantastic start, looking like he might make a move there. Eckham definitely getting alongside Sneaky as they go nearly 3 wide into turn 1. Fever getting past Crush absolutely straight away. Big Al is going to do the same thing. I think everyone made it through fairly cleanly this time.
Yeah, Sneaky fell back a little bit actually. Nearly got swamped 3 wide into turn 1, but that was all pretty clean, and I think he only lost a couple of spots because of that. Pondon making his way up into 14th, I think, just fighting combined a little bit there. Apex has made 5 spots as well. Snake that 6, up into 10th spot now.
Last time I criticised a Ferrari on medium tyres.
That's an insane start from Apex, wow. Okay, I take it all back on this. If he can hold the spot, he's good.
Yeah, Crush nearly put the inside of Fever coming into turn 8, but just couldn't pull it off, had to pull himself up. Oh, Big Al on the inside of Crush. He's going to try and get this move done, burning a lot of battery. He wants that position. As he edges his nose just past Crush. They're both still side by side. Can Crush hold on? I don't think so. Crush, what are you doing? Back? Ah, God, good. I thought he was going to keep his nose in there.
While that was happening, T-Mac spun in some which way at the chicane. So he's now down in 16th and a few seconds away from the pack. Spicer and Pondon were side by side through Sector 2 pretty much. Or Sector 3 I should say. But Spicer has prevailed in 13th spot. Apex is now up into 9th place.
Man, Apex using these medium tyres is an absolute effect.
And his battery.
Oh, and his battery. Yeah, okay. He's got nothing left in the tank. He's absolutely...
That might explain it. But still, if he can hold position, it would be a net positive for him.
Oh,
Gal,
Farmer Sam going sideways, so Apex getting past him as well. Not quite still side by side, but he's definitely trying to get the move done. He should have it, though.
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
Well done.
That's half the field. I don't think this half is going to be too doable, though.
No. But in saying that, he has shown us his best Fever impression, and it was definitely impressive.
Yeah, in 1 lap. That was pretty good. Combine opponent side by side into the chicane. Opponent on the inside. Does get the better exit, and Pondon does come out ahead.
Yeah, Combine unfortunately couldn't get his elbows out the way he probably should have, and Pondon definitely took advantage of that. Cow on the back of Sneaky.
Yeah, very close actually. I was wondering if he was going to try and make anything happen going into turn 11, but no, nothing of it.
Definitely thought about it. Who else? Date made on the back of Pepsi, super close as he looks for a dive but then backs out.
Yeah, doesn't have much of a threat behind him.
Yeah. Uber bangs in another fastest lap. As BRS gets enabled.
And there's Apex, another spot, taking Trin for 7th.
He did well to catch Trin that quickly.
Oh, he's got no ARS left though.
Yeah, the issue with doing this is ERS is very hard to gain back around this track because there are so many straights, so the chance to charge your battery is few and far between.
Yeah, last couple of games have been very rough for it. I remember in the past it was not too hard to gain back a little bit of ARS back each lap, but he's still using it going down this DRS straight. It's incredible.
Is he going to try and get past Macau too? It looks like...
He's not going to have...
Oh,
wow.
Massive dive, completely shoots past.
That's a shrimp bomb right there. That's a certified.
Car? He pulled that car up somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, he's still showing us his best Fever impression, and I'm still impressed.
You know, I'm going to say it, that was probably one of the best dive bombs I've seen.
That was well executed.
And I think Macau did let him have it in a sense. He doesn't want to get too tangled up, but all the same, great move.
Yeah, dove past, took the position, pulled the car up, didn't go off track. I mean, that's how you do it.
Coming into lap 4 now. Fever still very much ahead right now. Half a second to Big Al behind, and then Crush not too far off them as well. Sort of a train between
Pepsi!
That's a lot of wing, and Ferrari pointing the wrong way.
Yeah, I was on board for that. Just lost it on traction on the last corner.
Wow. So, has that caused the safety car? It looks like this was a VSC.
It's a VSC. No, the safety car is still in the pits. I can see, but Mylander is currently eating a sandwich.
So, this will be a good reprieve for Apex, believe it or not. That might help his ERS maybe just a touch.
This is actually perfect for him because he's going to build up a lot of that ERS that he lost, and he still maintains those positions he made.
Yeah.
Ideally, he would probably want the safety car by about lap. Like, if you can get one at lap like 10 or 11,
yeah,
he would be in heaven.
Too hard to make it from here? I mean, would a safety car have been good there?
No.
Okay.
No way. You'll burn through them.
Fair enough.
I mean, you can only get like 15 laps on the hards, and you're sitting at around 60 to 70%.
Jeez. So pretty tight on where this track. VSC looking like it's about to finish. Yep, there we go.
It's tough on where. I mean, it's to the point where not even Andocat would do softs in a sprint race. Well, that's saying something.
Too true. Back under green flag conditions here. Circuit Paul Ricard. Beaver still very much in the lead. Apex has been the talk of the town so far. He's made 10 spots since the start of the race. The only driver on medium tyres, and he's ploughed through the field.
He's in the pits getting that win replaced.
And there's a change in the lead and a change back. Fever pulling a switcheroo on Big Al, but these two are still really close as Mr. Spicer picks up our first penalty of the feature race.
Oh, Big Al and Fever again side by side, man. You could nearly make a feature-length movie from this point.
If you just missed the sprint race, they had pretty much 1.5 laps of just being alongside each other in the full wet. It was quite a great battle. Big Al with DRS. He looks like he's going to easily come up to Fever here and make a move. Yep, cleared him. Fever's sticking it in. Oh, and can you believe it? Pepsi has spun on pit exit.
Pepsi doing his best Smitty impression from Daytona.
Too soon. Pepsi warming those tyres up, surely. So Big Al is now the new leader of the race. Big Al has won twice around here. Fever has never won here, so very interesting to see who wins this actually. I'm quite curious.
I expect a few more lead changes here, to be honest. But at this point, it's honestly still anyone's race. Crush is sticking it with these guys. If they weren't battling, I think they could pull away. But because they are fighting, Crush is hanging in there, and he will continue to do so.
Yeah, the top 4 were in their own wee train just early, but because of that wee battle, Sneaky's been able to get in, and as a result, 1st to 12th are all in one big DRS train currently.
Absolutely true. These guys are they're so quick, and they all know how important it is to maintain DRS. You can see the DRS train currently from P1 all the way to P12, 6 laps into the race, which is it's really impressive.
Yeah, well, as it is right now, people just have to hold station and just sort of wait it out. Interesting to see as well. Big Al around 40%, Fever around 80% ERS. So, Fever braking very late, actually nearly running into Big Al. Oh, I had to pause for a second. So everyone will be staying line of steering pretty much, and just sort of not making a mistake, not doing anything too crazy. The real race will probably start at the pit stops, which is just in a good, say, 8 or 9 laps.
Yeah, I'd say you're right. We'll probably see a little bit of that going on now, especially as things sort of ease up. Spicer has unfortunately lost the DRS, so he might start dropping back a little bit.
And for Trin, and actually, who's that off? There's a car off, that's Spicer. Why'd you have to bring his name up?
That'll explain why he's losing DRS. I feel like he's taken me out enough for me to be able to curse him without feeling bad.
So no apparent damage on that Haas. He did have a weak collision with Pond and rejoining, but looks like nothing coming of that. And Apex on Sneaky, that's for 5th place. 11 spots now for Apex.
I think Trin must have had a moment because he's 1.5 seconds behind Mikau now, so he's dropped about a second to Mikau.
Yeah, he was just a second down about halfway through that Spicer incident, so I think he's had a couple of small little errors throughout the last half minute or so.
Yeah, it's going to cost him. I'd say he's vulnerable now.
Yeah, Farmer Sam not quite within striking range behind, and Trin will just be looking to regather. By no means is Trin out of it. We'll see what happens in pit stops. I know I keep harping on about this with Apex, but just very quickly, because he's on the medium tyres, they're going to start going off in a couple of laps as well, and he is going to be thinking of pitting relatively soon, actually.
I would imagine that that's the case. He can't keep doing what he's doing. I'd say his window is probably around like 12. Rat gets right to the back of Farmer Sam. As he sticks a nose into turn 11, can he get it done? It looks like it. Unless Farmer Sam can fight it back. Farmer Sam's trying to fight it back. Yeah, they're still battling side by side. Probably going to be side by side through most of Sector 3 as Rat just absolutely murders Farmer Sam.
That was very close, but I think Rat was on the very edge of the track. I'm not... That's a dicey one. It's hard to call here, but without a doubt there'll be tears over it after the race.
I'm sure it's not the last we're going to hear of that one.
Yeah, but as it is right now, Farmer Sam has spun out. He's rejoined in 12th, but he's by no means out of it. He's got decent pace. Bates made a move on Rat for 9th.
I think that gave Rat wing damage.
Just checking his car. Have to be light wing damage. Both his end plates are on. Change for the lead.
Yeah, I'm watching that now. The lead changed twice. Big O got past Fever, then Fever says, no thank you, I want that position back. And Crush is still just waiting in the wings. Double Mercedes just sitting back there, waiting for a chance to do something. As Big Al looks up the inside of Fever, and he will retake that position.
Another spin for Farmer Sam further back as well.
Oh no.
No damage as well, it seems. Could be light damage though. Yes, Big Al still ahead. And I think what's interesting is that these two have been able to keep fighting well enough, but keep their pace up at the same time. Not letting these Mercedes in, and Fever is around!
Oh no. What, was there contact?
I think that sums it up. Yeah, no, just not enough room on the inside, it looked like.
Mercedes, what's going on? Why is Apex in second place?
Okay. I'm going to have to go back and see what happened there. What the hell just happened for Apex to just take 2 Mercedes? And now one of the Mercedes is coming in. What is going on?
I think Crush got wing damage from that.
Wow. So clearly there was something we missed. That's incredible.
I'm kind of frustrated that I missed that. I don't know what happened then.
I don't know if FIBA scattering on the track made the Mercedes go off or deviate in some way, and Apex was able to just keep going and take both Mercedes as a result.
I think something happened with FIBA. He went off and then possibly got hit by one of the Mercedes. I think Crush FIBA made contact.
Only reason, yeah.
And then Eka must have just evaded, and then Apex was just like, "Thank you," and just stuck in there.
Apex would have been able to read that situation a lot better than in Mercs. We were just way closer to that incident. And there was nothing that FIBA could have done about it. Big L and FIBA were just fighting over the same piece of track. So I'm not going to call any shots on it. I didn't. I can't process that fully, but without a doubt, it was something that both drivers did not want because they were fighting so well and so cleanly up until that point.
Yeah, no, absolutely true. Apex still making fantastic use of these medium tyres. He's barging through.
Yeah, that's a big win for Apex all up because he just made a few spots out of that. Apex in second after in lap 9 with a field full of hard runners. That's like 1,000,000,000 to 1. Okay, like who is calling that?
He is very rapid at the moment, but he will be slower at the back half of this race when everyone else puts on the mediums and he'll be on hard tyres. So that's going to factor in too.
He will also be quicker after he comes in when he's on fresher hards and everybody else is on worn hards.
That's true. That's true.
So it's interesting to see how it'll all balance itself out. Theoretically, everybody else should be a bit quicker with the softer compound tyre, with a lighter fuel load. You can definitely get more pace out of it that way, which is why people would generally prefer a hard to medium. But otherwise, well, this is a race. This isn't all happening in a vacuum.
Apex is in the wall!
Oh my god!
I don't know if there's any damage. It looked like very, very light contact. He just lost it into turn 5. Oh, just coming out of turn 5 to turn 6.
Wow.
He managed to make contact with the wall, and that's cost him dearly.
I hyped it up too much, clearly. Oh dear.
There you go, that was your fault. Commentator's curse.
God damn. Well, he's still in 7th. It's still a net positive. He's still up 9 spots, all things considered.
I don't think there's any damage. Just looking at the way he's driving, he should be fine.
Yeah.
Mikhail, for the second week in a row, finds himself in a podium position.
FIBA just behind as well.
As I say that, FIBA causes a bind him.
Trinum 5th, Sneaky 6th. Apex obviously holding station. Rat's a couple of seconds behind. And fighting with Bait actually for 8th currently.
Bait is in a bit of a duel with Rat. It looks like Rat's going to hold it for now, but Bait is not making it easy on him.
Tough to be on the outside here, but he's making it work. Because you do get the inside for the last turn.
Yeah.
But there's the crow. Yeah, he tried to switch back and hit him.
Looks like he's got it. Bait also has DRS because he was behind him at the DRS detection point, so I think Bait's going to make this stick. Oh, Bait also burning a lot of ERS. He's none left at all.
Yeah, and Bait's going to be worried going into the back straight as well, so this battle will still keep going.
Yeah, Apex looking up the inside, can't quite get it done. That was kind of risky by Rat.
I don't know, it felt like a bit of a late defense. I don't know, that was hard to call.
I wasn't on board. I pushed the wrong button, so I couldn't quite see what happened there. But
either way, they're both still on track. They're both still running. So. And FIBA does get third.
Gets past Mikhail for 3rd place, and it looks like Rat is going to get past. Bait is pushing him to the absolute edge of the track, as he's entitled to do. Very hard racing by Bait there. Oh, okay, that was probably a little...
Yeah, that was probably a bit of an overzealous block, yeah.
Yeah, alright, no, now I'm not for it anymore. Okay, and then he lifts...
And a lift through there. And Combined saying hello. I didn't even realise he was there, but here he is.
Well, he was.
He's
He
Combined.
was 2 seconds back.
And I think Bait will still be not quite happy with having to deal with that, but he is ahead. Rat's dropped back a little bit now.
Yeah, I don't like how Bait defended that though.
It's not too easy to tell. I think Bait's one of those people that actually doesn't run rear mirror from memory.
No, he doesn't run rear mirror, but that's no excuse.
Anyway, lap 12 of 27. We're getting very close to pit stops. Apex is actually just about due to come in this lap, if I'm calling it right.
Yeah, he should be fairly close to coming in, I would imagine. Just on board with him now. He's rather close to Sneaky, but I don't think he's going to catch him.
Yeah, no. Well, his tyres will be way worse than the hards right now. He should theoretically be a bit slower than these hard runners right now.
You think so?
What's the DRS he's holding station? So I guess that's the point.
DRS is definitely helping him out, trying to maintain that position. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't believe we're expecting rain, but I could be wrong. Those skies are looking fairly ominous at the moment.
Yeah, I did notice it a few laps ago. It did get a bit darker, didn't it?
It's been a noticeable jump. I didn't get a weather report through from anyone, so I'm not sure. I do have messages in Discord that I have to check, but it's a decent. Looks like it's a decent chance of rain towards the end of this race. We'll have to keep an eye out.
Yeah, no word on weather currently.
Apex is in. Let's see where he pops himself out afterwards. Pepsi picks up another time penalty. He's not having a good race.
No, you could say that. So, Apex travelling down the pit lane, kind of a pretty long pit lane, all things considered. He will lose a lot of spots here, but we'll make them back up.
It's a very long pit lane. Yeah, just on board now with Fever as he's looking on making some positions up on Ekam. Ekam having a lot more battery to burn, but I don't think that's going to help him. Fever's just so rapid as he touches the back of Ekam and drifts around turn 8 and 9.
Yeah, he did the same with Big Al a few laps ago. It sort of made me jump a little bit.
This man's car control is just on another level.
Oh, who's that around? That is a Ferrari, and that is Apex. He's going to lose a few seconds because of that.
Full safety car.
Apex has no front wing. That'll explain it. So he must have hit the wall in a full safety car.
Everyone is going to pit now for medium tyres, and
wow,
they're going to really hurt by the end of this race. So that's going to mitigate Big Al's lead to nothing, unfortunately. And,
this is incredible.
Compact the whole field.
So everyone is forced into a spot where they have to conserve their tyres, their tyre wear. This is going to be a very, very stressful race for the drivers.
Oh yeah, this sucks, because those medium tyres, trying to do that distance on the medium tyres is going to hurt a little bit. I mean, they can all make it. It's just the last 3 or 4 laps going to suck.
So the people that are more that are perhaps better on their tyres and can save a bit of wear are actually probably going to shine here. And we don't see too much of this sort of thing come up. I normally point to people like drivers that we used to have, like Pacey, for example, was very good at that sort of thing, where if he had to run longer on an old set of tyres, he would and could, and save some pace at that. But everyone's on the same playing field here. Crush is in a weird spot, because he's already on worn medium, so he's going to have to pit again no matter what, and doesn't have a fresh set of hards to go onto. Apex is actually going on to softs, believe it or not. So he's 2-stopping?
He has to. I don't even know if 2 sets of softs can do that, to be fair. He might have to do a lap on. He might be doing a lap on softs just so he can go back and put hards on again. Because I mean,
you only have the 1 set of hards. Oh no, yeah, that's right. Yeah, good point actually. Yes, he does have hards.
He hasn't really used them. they've done a half an hour lap.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a point. So he must be 2-stopping in that case. Pepsi's going back onto his old hards. That's probably not a bad call considering they're only a few laps old.
Yeah, so I'd say him and Apex probably both have to do that, unfortunately. Crush is screwed.
Crush is a tough one. He's going to have to pit again no matter what. I guess you may as well just lap and wait until the end of the race to do your soft stint if you have to do it. Get whatever spots you can then when you've got open track.
Yeah, he's in He's in a horrendous spot.
Mm.
You got 2 sets of medium. Oh no, he used it in the sprint. He doesn't.
Well, remember
Wow.
there was no sprint because we used the
yeah. So he's got a set. If I was him, I'd pick for mediums right now.
But does he have a set that he can use? Because I feel like if he has that set available, he would have done that by now.
He might not be aware that he has that set available because usually they don't.
Well, if Crush is tuned into the stream, we'll see. No, he stays out, so
he will have a fresh set of mediums sitting there because they weren't used in the sprint. So actually, same with like the likes of Apex. Really, he's got that fresh set if he wants it.
Speaking of, because he would have had to have checked because he did come in for softs. So
yeah, there you go. So he's pitting again. So he just put those softs on just so he could get the wing fixed, and he's going to put that same hard set back on. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, he is. Now, Pepsi, I actually think he should go on the mediums now. You have a lot better wear, but I know it's not much. But it's already dicey for him to make it to the end on the hards, and he's going to be slower anyway.
Mediums can make it from here. This lap is roughly where you'd probably want to pit for mediums.
Yeah.
So you should be right from here.
So the drivers won't be incurring too much wear during the formation lap, so it's just slightly out of the range of comfort for these guys, but nothing to really be too worried about, I'd imagine, in terms of tyre wear. No punctures, at least, I think. You'd hope not, anyway.
No, they should be fine.
Anyway, lap 15 to 27. Once everybody compacts up, we're waiting for Apex to get to the end of the pack as Pepsi just slots in behind Pondon in this wee little safety car train. We will have roughly 11 laps of Grand Lap running, hopefully.
King J in chat saying that the mediums from the sprint are unavailable. Why would they be unavailable, King J?
Isn't that why Ando runs softs all the time on sprints anyway?
He does it so that he saves those medium tyres. But
yeah,
running wets does the same thing. They would have saved those medium tyres. So yeah, they would have 2 sets available.
Anyway, safety car's in this lap. Big Al is control of the field.
I do think you're wrong there, King J. Yeah, Big Al, as you said, Big Al is controlling it, and he tends to like to go a little bit later.
Yeah, and he is. Every chance to warm the tyres, he goes now. Right. We're back underway.
Yeah, oh, side by side there with Sneaky and Trin. These guys absolutely didn't get caught napping.
T-Mac as well, very close to combined, wasn't able to do anything, but turn 2, he's got his nose in, not quite.
Couldn't quite make it stick. Combined doing well there to force him to take that tighter line. Rat nearly has a look on the inside of T-Mac to try and get that position back. Couldn't quite make it though. T-Mac going for a bit of a dive, Combined leaving him plenty of room. It looks like T-Mac's going to do it, Combined being very, very generous, and T-Mac taking advantage of that generosity. As Rat also comes by, he's going to try and swarm him, but Combined is pretty quick on the straight. Crush gets past Sneaky.
Yeah, Sneaky dropped 2 spots. He just lost out to Trin going into the start of the back straight as well. Apex making a move on Pepsi as well. That's for 15th spot, so Apex begins the climb once more. Good luck, Soldier. And Fever now up into second, taking Econ. Oh, yep, that's right. Yep.
That's, yeah, it looks like we're going to have a round 2 between Fever and Big Al here after the shenanigans we saw earlier. Which I'm not upset about at all as long as Sam gets past Mr. Spicer.
It's 12th spot there. Both drivers with penalties. Most people with penalties back out of the points, really, apart from Rat, potentially. Rat's not been too bad this race, and Farmer Sam, Mr. Spicer are all holding their own. A bit further back, mind you, but a good race, and Farmer Sam's around!
He got tagged by someone, I don't know who, but he definitely got tagged.
Yeah, I just saw him going sideways. I didn't catch anything else of that, so Farmer Sam to the back of the grid.
Pondon on Apex, because he's on the mediums now, and he says, thank you very much, these tyres are nice. Gets past him.
Very tight, but just enough room there.
That was an awesome overtake by Pond, and I reckon that's one of his best moves this season.
So 10 laps here. How are these drivers going to manage their tyres? Is everyone going to be okay? Why did Combine just slow down suddenly?
Did he?
Wow, I think there's just a bit of lag. I'm not sure. Red had to just quickly hit the anchors, and you can see it's affected his run because Bates just passed him like it's nothing.
Yeah, okay. I didn't see Combine slowing down, but I can definitely see the slalom effect of that.
I think it was lag. I don't think Combine actually slowed down, but it looked like it was slowing down.
Yeah, okay. Looks strange, but alright.
Yeah, maybe that was just a mind, I don't know. I'll have to see later on. Anyway, Red is now down to 11th and Bates in 10th now in the points.
They would not be upset at that at all. He'll take that position.
So anyway, everyone's got to manage their wear. Still a question mark over Crush, what he's going to do. It looks like he's probably just going to have to go for the fastest lap. That's pretty much it.
Rush. Yeah, I don't think he's got much of a chance, really. On those tyres, he's going to get swamped, which is really unfortunate because he had exceptional pace.
Yeah, and it's not like other tracks where you have leeway with the wear, where you can stay out, you'll just be slower. You know, here the wear is actually very considerable. You'd noted if you'd watched the Tier 3 race earlier. So he can't stay out is the problem. So he is going to have to pit again, or risk a puncture.
Apex and Spicer battling side by side. Apex can pass Spicer. But yeah, as you said, I don't think it's even risking a puncture. I think it's nearly guaranteeing a puncture.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's worth risking for a bit. Looking for a more broadcast camera, apparently, just reading chat.
Yeah, I see that. I tend to not like to use broadcast cam too often, especially when they're fighting, because it sometimes gives you really terrible angles. Like, my personal favourite is if there's a car behind at a reasonable gap, because then you can sort of see all the action all the time. As a Rat is looking on the outside of Bait through turn 10, couldn't quite do it, but he swaps to the inside for turn 11, and he's gonna do that. Bait gives him almost no room. Oh, very aggressive by these guys, but Rat gets the move done.
Yeah, no response for Bait there. He's just gonna have to sit back. I love the camera angles here, especially because, you know, the fast right hand, I think it's turn 10. Like, if you're like on broadcast at that point, sometimes it's just a static shot of just around the corner, and if they're side by side, you can't see the move until it's already done. Like, you have no control over the camera angles. It's really annoying with this game.
Oh, it's super frustrating. So we just try and do the best we can. I try and swap a little bit, but I do have a tendency to lean towards the TV pod, just because I've got full control over the TV pod.
Fair. Lap 19 of 27. Big Al's still in the lead. Fever still just hanging in there behind. Big Al with a slight ERS advantage too, so looks like Big Al's really holding his own. Two-time winner here. Fever never winning here before, remember? So looks like Big Al is currently doing pretty well to get his third win here.
Yeah, Apex gets very squirmy out of second sector onto the back straight. Couldn't quite get the move that he wanted to get done on Condon. He does have a lot of straight line. He's significantly quicker than Pondon, makes a massive dive up the inside. Nothing really wrong with that, but man, that Ferrari has some straight line speed.
And it's going to be shown here. Here we go. Can they hold? Does Pondon hold on to the outside? He does. A lot of room given by the two drivers. That's good to see. Pondon's still sticking it out.
Oh, another mid-contact! Aye, well done, Spicer! Spicer with an absolute boss move, diving up the inside to avoid Pondon there. He is going to need a change of underwear before Tier 2.
Looks like Pondon only just lost it. I don't think that was necessarily Rad's fault. Or
no, it
Epic's
wasn't his fault at all. They made contact, but it's sort of like Pondon turned in on it essentially. So it's definitely on Pondon.
Pondon just sort of arming and ahhing about going into the pit lane and doesn't do it, and gets a free second for corner cutting because he just sort of went around and rejoined the track.
And we said lap times. What sort of lap times are you after?
Probably the fastest lap.
A lot.
It's in the gap menu.
Actually, fastest lap, yeah. So Big L on 32.3 there for your fastest time. I mean, there's not a lot of gap between there. Like between first and 11th, there's 2 tenths for the fastest laps.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
Oh no, sorry.
Pretty
I
free.
said 32,
Yeah.
33, sorry. A second. I was going to say
There's
that's
actually a
really
very clear
close.
difference, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's, you can see, Spicer, it's always there.
Yeah, so this is tier 1, to be fair. Yeah, they're pretty fast. For comparison, Farmer Sam, 34.8, he's in tier 3. Spicer's in tier 2, and I think he's on a 34 as well. I can actually pull it up as well. Yeah, 34 flat, and he's in tier 2. In tier 1, yeah, 32s, 33s roughly, so that's your baseline.
Yeah, a lot of cars really close, but not a lot of action at the moment. I think everyone's sort of just trying to charge up a little bit to prepare for that battle at the end. Macau and a bit of no man's land there.
Yeah, and Crush is using quite a lot in comparison to everyone around him. Well, Macau using a fair bit as well, to be fair, but Crush especially, and he is still out on track, and I think he is actually going to try push us to the end, surely. 6 laps, he is going to be in uncharted waters if he tries this, though.
Yeah, as Farmer Sam picks up another time penalty.
What was the threshold? 72? 73%?
Going to start hurting. Yeah, well, anything above 70%, you're running the risk of a puncture. Fiba did get past Big Al. As I said, these guys are going to save their ERS. Fiba and Big Al completely ignored me. And they're just absolutely sending it.
They've kept the Mercedes, to be fair, and the Mercedes has been using as well. Everyone up front has really used a lot of their battery and just sort of holding it. Who's yellow flag? That's Pepsi.
Pepsi doing Pepsi things.
Oh, Pondon actually brushed him as well.
Oh.
Coat of paint on the Red Bull. Coming into lap 22 here, so 5 laps to go. Or 6.
Nothing wrong with trading a little bit of paint.
Yeah, 6 laps to go here. It's been a pretty clean race. Definitely a few battles, nothing too insane. I feel like the biggest part of the race is yet to come, though.
It usually is in the last couple of laps when drivers start getting desperate. Speaking of desperate, I think the most desperate drivers are going to be the guys like Batman P11, who are sitting about, like, I mean, he's one position off scoring a point, so he's going to do absolutely everything he can to make it at least one position. But Rat does have a time penalty, so it might not be that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I don't know if he actually has enough time to catch up to Combined, who's 3 seconds up the road. So, oh no, hang on, no, I'm reading that wrong. Combined is there, so they would still like to get past Rat to try get to Combined. And Rat obviously is not racing for position, so it would be frustrating for him, to be fair. And what's this? 5th and 6th? Crush and Trin.
On those warm tyres, Crush is making moves, and he's significantly impacted Trin. Oh, they're boxing him in! Trin's got nowhere to go! Oh, Crush lets him through on the inside. Lucky. Lucky. I think
Crush did good to defuse the situation there. I think that was a good move.
He did, but if he was smart, he would have boxed Trin in, so Trin had to lift off the throttle. Instead, he left him room to get past.
Well, cause an incident? That was 100% an incident.
Well, let's be on Trin if it was. Drove right in the back of Crush in that case. It's a legitimate strategy.
Fair enough. Not the sort of thing I'd promote, but I mean, okay, sure.
I say it because me and Spicer have done it more than once.
Don't give away all the secrets, eh?
And it does work well. But yeah, Trin definitely taking advantage of Crush's generosity and making it go past him again. I'm amazed with Crush on his old tyres still battling with these guys.
Yeah, the pace must still be there despite the wear. Meanwhile,
sorry.
You're good.
I think he's going to try and take these tyres to the end.
Yeah, you have to. You're not going to stay in the race anymore, otherwise. You're not going to get points, for sure. Vice for 3 seconds. Yeah, Farmer Sam and Ponder were just battling there, but Farmer Sam's come out on top, 14th. Just fighting for sheep stations, really. Pepsi has come onto soft tyres, so be trying to snatch away the fastest lap. Oh, and there we go for Crush.
The second I look away, these guys are changing positions left and right.
Well, this is the time.
Well, Rat getting past Combined. That's not what Bait would want at all. Because now Bait has to essentially go and do the same thing.
Yeah, needs to keep that 3-second margin. Spicer is in the wall coming out of the chicane.
No safety car though, and I think this is sort of the last lap that we could get a possible safety car. After that, I don't think it's even possible.
Yeah, indeed, the Spicer of damage doesn't look like it.
Bait Mate is trying to get this move done. He just doesn't have the traction though. He knows it's race critical. He's got to get past Combine.
Indeed, don't think he can do too much. Not until the next dairy section anyway. That wasn't a good exit for him. Meanwhile, up ahead, Sneaky and Trent are battling into turn 1. I think Sneaky's got that. And Crush is free-falling now through the grid as his tyres will wear.
Yeah, he's going to suffer these last couple of laps. But we'll see if he can manage to finish the race. I really hope he doesn't get a puncture. He definitely deserves points after the start he's had that sprint race. Phenomenally well there. So, Bait is fairly close. No! He pushes just a little hard and loses the rear end. That's going to cost him so much.
Now, Crush was 3/10 slower through the first sector than T-Mac. So, it's going to be around a second a lap slower than these guys, and it's a 3-second gap back to Rat. So, whether Crush can still get points, we'll see.
Trin on Sneaky. Trin makes a massive dive on Sneaky. Sneaky tries to the switchback, couldn't quite pull it off though, and now they're battling nearly side by side up to turn 10. Crush would love to get involved here, but I don't think his tyres are going to allow him.
And what about T-Mac as well behind? He's going to have to try to find a way around Crush.
Yeah, I think Crush should really have to be looking in his mirrors instead of looking forward to try and maintain this position.
When did Feber get a hit of Big Al?
I don't know. But
Well, Feber's a hit of Big Al now. That also happened. And Crush is right. Ekim is right there as well, sorry.
they tend to do that. Those guys, they love swapping positions.
Oh, well, that happened, and that's a thing.
Game the leapfrog up on the podium there.
Yes, 3 laps to go. Took a Paul Ricard. Been a good race so far. We're far from over, of course. Where does Crush finish? Can T-Mac negotiate it? Where does Rat finish with his penalties? Combined and Bait, they're looking pretty hungry behind him.
Oh yeah, Apex too. Apex's tyres would be much nicer now than Bait's. I don't know if we're on ahead really, as he looks for a bit of a move, couldn't quite get it done. Luckily, he got out of it. Big Al getting past Feber again. I saw this one. Oh, they made contact. Feber's going to retain that position.
Yeah, that was harmless, but not ideal, obviously.
I was watching that one. I'm not gonna
And Big Al
miss that again.
back on the outside.
Damn it, I missed it.
No, they're still side by side.
Oh no, contact!
How
Guys!
did they not spin?
I don't understand how these two managed to make contact like that, and they don't.
In
So
this
they
contact
somehow
model?
don't pit maneuver each other, and they can do it consistently.
And again, Feber's finding any way around. There's 2 insane battles happening right now for first and for 9th.
I don't know where to look. These guys up the front are awesome to watch, but at the same time, I want to watch this battle between Combined and Bait. Double DRS open up the front with Feber and Eckham back into turn 1. Is Feber going to make a move? Looks up the inside, switches to the outside, going side by side into turn 1. I think he's going to get it done. He is for now, but I can almost guarantee you they're going to swap back again.
London spun in sector 3. That's him off and then the 15th.
Lost it unfortunately. Guys ahead, still not much has changed. Combine still pushing to try and keep up with Rat. Bait's still trying to get past Combine.
Now at this rate, Red is going to finish 12th place with 6 seconds of penalties, I think it was. Yes, 6 seconds, yes.
I honestly don't know where to look. There's so much going on everywhere as Big Al gets past Feber again, side by side into the chicane. Both pushing each other wide. Eckham is just always stuck behind these two. He just can't get a move done, even though he gets marginally better exits every time because they're side by side. He just can't get past.
This is a very good battle for the lead because these two are just keeping it within grounds, trying to not let this Mercedes in, even though he's trying. That's incredible.
He's trying everything he can, and I think I might have to stay on board for this battle on the last lap. Even though I want to jump around a bit, I think it's going to be worth it just to watch these guys duke it out.
I'll keep an eye further down. But yeah, this was going to be juicy up front.
It's all in this last battle. So Big Al has 40% ERS, Fever on right about 40 as well, Eckham down at 25, so he's burning a little bit more than these two. But we'll see what happens as we start the final lap. Fever is going to do Fever things, go up the outside of turn 1 and squeeze Big Al as much as he legally can. Big Al's going to look for a switchback going into turn 3, and he's getting much better traction. Can he make it? Oh, not quite. Again, contact, and somehow they don't spin.
Jeez, those two in this contact model, I'm really surprised there's been no contact.
This just shows their class. I mean, it shows why they're leading the championship. Exceptional driving. As Fever's got a bit of a gap now on Big Al, but Big Al will use his ERS, use his DRS, not his ERS for some reason, so he's sort of sitting back a bit. I think he's going to try and take him into turn 10 or 11. It's his last chance to really do it. Full burn, he's burning absolutely everything. We'll see if he can get it done into turn 11.
I think he made a move on Trent, T-Mac made a move on Crush as well. Crush is out of ERS pretty much, but should be safe from combined. He can hold up if he can get to the end.
Bait and Apex side by side, but I can't really swap away. These guys are still fighting.
You can Trent's still battling too, but I think, yeah.
I don't think there's anything these guys can do now. It looks to be pretty well over up the front here. I think Fever has got this, and he will take his first AFR race win at France.
Wow, incredible. A great race from those two. And not to take away from Eckham, there's a podium as well for him.
Yeah, Eckham. Congrats Eckham on the podium too. Just going down the field now. I think that's all she wrote. Oh! Apex and Bait side by side going into the last corner. They make contact, and oh, that's just frustrating.
Well, that's probably going to be the worst part of it all.
One of them could have got into the points because of Rat's penalty, but because of that, neither of them is going to.
Wow. Now, can I point out something? Big Al is ahead of Fever. Now, Fever spun on the line, as they like to do. Did Big Al inch past him on the line, or is that a desync? We caught it on the stream, but I didn't see it.
I think it's desync. I think Fever made it to the line. Or
Hang
did
on.
he? Did he do something really stupid? I'm not sure.
Okay, well, Fever
Can
has reacted.
Can someone in chat tell us? Did Fever pull a Matt Dabry?
Oh my god. Well, either way, those two finished 1 and 2. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but which way around? This is important.
well, provisionally, Big Al is the winner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Big Al is... yeah, without any other context.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So Fever did the thing where, you spin out across the line like you do sometimes.
As he does from time to time.
Yeah, and then, Big Al just passed him right before the line, because the line's a bit further back than you expect. But as it is right now, the standings as it is, Big Al does take the win. If Fever didn't actually spin and Big Al spun him, then it'll be appealed and Fever will take the win after the stewards have looked at it. But and obviously Ekin will still get third, but wow, what a race.
Well, if that's true, then Fever is still winless at France. And that's going to remain as such because the next game doesn't have France in it.
Oh, but there's still next season. And either way, Big Al, 3-time winner at France, if that's the case. That's like record with Pacey for 3 wins.
Fair enough. Yeah, epic result there. Good job to Big Al, Fever as well. Eckham, fantastic job. Crush has always had so much pace, unfortunately couldn't pull through. Luckily, he got those 8 points for the sprint race, which would definitely help his case out in the standings.
And still made it to the end of this race.
Yeah, he did too. Still got some points here. Trent had the points as well. T-Mac did phenomenally well. Rats got up there as well. Even with that penalty, combined around at our top 10. Unfortunately, Bait just missed out. Bait and Apex.
Wow, incredible race.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. This was the Tier 1 race. Don't go anywhere. In about 20 minutes, we'll start up again for Tier 2. So Pepsi and Combine are going to jump back in the booth. And they will entertain you some more. So we'll see you guys there.
Take care.